Right, good afternoon, and it's 15 February 2026. Today I'm joined by a special guest, General Ruwende. How are you doing?
I am super and well, Gambakwe. How are you?
Fantastic. General, today we've got a quick discussion, and it's going to be regular. I want us to look at what has happened recently in the past 2 weeks. Has the political environment in Zimbabwe shifted? Are we at a juncture right now?
Thank you, Gambakwe, and I want to thank all the viewers for watching us today. Let me begin by saying this is the beginning of the end. Why am I saying this? If you look at this rogue regime that is basing the politics on one person, I still remember we did the same mistake with Robert Mugabe by idolizing Robert Mugabe. Now, this regime also is doing the same mistake by idolizing Emerson Mnangagwa. And this gives him, but as I see it today, this might be the beginning of the end for Emerson Mnangagwa. Do you think the army guys, they will allow him to turn Zimbabwe into a banana republic where he can change the constitution as he see fit, or he can play with the people's mind as he see fit? And bribing people, remember, you can bribe people, you can buy people, but you can't actually buy the idea of change. Most of the people, they have the idea of change. They have the idea of freedom with equality, not just freedom. So that is it's a tight situation for Mnangagwa. As we speak now, tinoti zvakafanana nefodya kuti uku iri kutsva uku yakarumwa. That's the situation ya Mnangagwa at the moment. He can be calm, he can be seen with confidence, but situation ya ari ezvinezvi, it's too tight. And it's now that brings us to the division within ZANU-PF. If you look at it, he is actually causing division for himself with these amendments that he wants to do. And this actually proves that he is a dictator. For all this time, everyone had my doubts. But maybe he's not. Maybe he is a constitutionalist. But with the amendments now on the table, it clearly states that he is a dictator. And everyone now choose sides.
Okay, so you are saying the army is the people who are going to determine what happens next. What about the people?
The people are the tingati second from last as the rubber stopper. We can go to the streets as we are going to do. We are going to defend the constitution. We are going to stand with the constitution of Zimbabwe and the people of Zimbabwe. However, if you look at the dynamics now, the army has been always been another stakeholder within our political arena. And that stakeholder now, remember, these are the powerful people in uniform. And we have a general who's a vice president. He's a vice president, but a general, always a general. Even if he dies today, or if, God forbid, even if he leaves, he resigned from army, he is still a general. Valerius Banda also is out in the army. So do you think these brilliant minds, these generals, they can allow our constitution to be mutilated, even though the people are going to go to the streets, even though the people are going to debate about these amendments? We say no to Mnangagwa 2030. We say no to these amendments. And do you believe that the army will leave Mnangagwa to execute these amendments? In the first place, the 2017 coup, that was not a coup. The reason behind that, it was defending the constitution and Operation Restore Legacy. So how do we then say today they are not going to interfere? Yet they had sworn to protect and save the constitution of Zimbabwe. So we can try to say Mnangagwa is going to go to the courts, he's going to go to the right. Sorry.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can say Mnangagwa, he's going to go to the courts, he's going to go to the parliament, but he knows exactly that without the army, he is just doing nothing. Without swearing the army side, he
So,
is not.
so how is it going to go down? What is going to happen?
Yes.
What is the trigger that we're waiting for?
We are waiting for the bill to be gazetted. The bill is not yet gazetted. It's not yet in the parliament. The day he is going to gazette them, to submit the bill to the Speaker of Parliament, and the Speaker of Parliament gazettes the bill, that's where the drama starts. For now, we are still debating the bill that was leaked. We are not discussing the real bill in the parliament. Once it's gazetted, then everything will unfold. For now, he tested the waters, and he can see people are angry. So that now they are thinking carefully. They went back to the table and tried to change other things. You will see that once they present this bill, either more things have been added or some of the things have been removed. But their agenda here is to base the politics of Zimbabwe based on one-party state and the idolization of Emerson Mnangagwa, which we are saying no. And the army, trust me, they will not leave these guys to mutilate the constitution in their eyes. Why? Because they have sworn to protect and save the constitution of Zimbabwe.
Okay, now let's go to young Sarwaka. Who killed Sarwaka?
As I said before, Gambakwe, it's a complex situation. We cannot deny the state that there is a fingerprint of the state. No, we cannot acknowledge also the fingerprints of the state. Remember, Sarwaka is an ex-policeman. He was in the system. He worked for the system. And he knew the people within the system. They were his friends. They played together. And he defected from the system. That's where the problem starts. Remember, you work in the system and you start talking when you're outside of the system. There is a problem there because the system don't want you to talk. The system, they want you to go quietly. And when you raise your voice, you become the enemy of the system. That's what happened to Sarwaka. At this point, I cannot confirm nor deny the involvement of the state because it's a case that is in the courts, that is an active investigation. However, I cannot confirm nor deny the fingerprints of the state. Sarwaka, he had become if I was ZANU-PF or if I was in the side of ZANU-PF, I would say he has become a political nuisance. But in the other side, on the opposition, he had become a symbol of a revolution, which same thing as Geza. Today we have a revolution that is called Geza. He has become a symbol of a revolution. We can simply say Geza and Che Guevara are in the same level. We can put them in the same basket, saying Che Guevara played a role in the liberation of Zimbabwe and the formation of the ZANU forces. At the same time, we can say Geza contributed to the revolution that was built by Che Guevara. Yet today also he was the one who was voicing out and saying the revolution means nothing today because the people are only thinking about their stomach. This is not what we fought for. This is not what we suffered for. So Geza has become now the symbol of the revolution, a revolution for the Zimbabwean people. Remember, I said the Zimbabwean people, they want freedom with equality. Geza, that's what he wanted. He says, yes, guys, we fought for freedom and equality. But today, we are only giving people freedom without equality. But yet, when we were in the liberation struggle, we need to have a Zimbabwe that is conducive for everybody. Even if we have political differences, regardless of our political diversities, we are Zimbabweans. Let's live together with our diversities. That was the reason for the liberation struggle. Yet today, that element of diversity has changed. It has taken a different trajectory where
Okay.
that's what Geza stands for. So he now became the symbol of a revolution. Now they can't stop it. Now ZANU-PF, they have made a mistake to let Geza die with an idea of change that sparked a revolution. This might take 20, 50 years, but trust me, the Geza revolution they have just fertilized it with the blood of Geza. At the same time, I will not confirm nor deny the fingerprints of the state on the death of Geza. Who knows? And I cannot confirm anything about who killed him or what happened to him. But what I can say is they have just fertilized the revolution of the Zimbabwean people.
All right, so let's go to the players now who are left. We've got 4 active players right now. We've got Nelson Chamisa, we've got Tagwire, those are key players. We've got Chiwenga, and then we've got the defense, the constitution guys. That is Tendai Biti, Timba, Dubeko, and all those guys. So we've got 4 players right now who are in this field, besides Mnangagwa. Who is going to come out on top? You said the army is coming first. What about these other 4?
Mnangagwa has made his bed. If he continue with these amendments, there is no coming back from that one. He will be nailing the last nail on his coffin. Chamisa also, this is the last kicks of a dying horse. I am not against Chamisa. As I told you, I believe in freedom with equality. Everyone has a right to start a political movement, a political party. Everyone has a right to voice their concerns, and everyone has a right to run a political party. However, I can say the shenanigans or the political dynamics within ZANU-PF, it has been always like this, where you have factions, where you have people speaking against each other within ZANU-PF. We are looking at a 2016-2017 scenario here, where Grace Mugabe was telling Mnangagwa Unubenga, but at the end Mnangagwa came on top. As we speak, we are there again because we never go back and fix it. Tagwire, he has money, he sponsored the 2017. So now he has come to collect. He has come to collect what he had sponsored, what he had bought. The Tungwararas, they will always be there in our time. Those people who have to praise other people's names for them to get the benefits. However, do not forget the major stakeholder of all these factions in ZANU-PF. The Tagwire's faction, remember, it was enabled by the army. Mnangagwa's faction was also enabled by the army. Now you have the army as the major stakeholder. As you can see, who holds more power when we're talking about political power, we are talking about who has the guns and who has the money. At this point, all the parties, they are holding, the Tagwire is holding the money, the Chiwenga faction is holding the guns, so it's the clash of the titans. But at the end of the day, the one who's holding the money might lose because he does not have the guns. He has to have authorization from the guys with the guns. Saka,
okay. Let's move by steps. Let's move by steps, General. You said the army is going to be the next to make a move. But you say Tagwire has got the money and Chiwenga has got the guns. Mnangagwa, what does he have?
Mnangagwa has the influence. Mnangagwa has the influence and the seniority between all of these guys. The seniority and the name, the influence around the whole thing. Chiwenga is based with the people, the guys in uniform. Tagwire is based with the guys with money. So these 3 people, they are the ones who has to determine where this thing should go. The political trajectory is determined by these 3 people. So, however, if you look at it, if anyone missteps, we might end up in an anarchy, we might end up in a better Zimbabwe, we might end up back where we started in 2017. So we have 3 situations that might come out of this. The opposition, we have a fragmented opposition that might not make any difference at the point. Chamisa lost the people and he lost the influence within the people. If he had gone to the parliament or to the Senate as the leader of the opposition, we wouldn't be at this point. I'm not saying I hate Chamisa I don't hate Chamisa. It's his right. However, if we had changed the situation, Chamisa should have gone and become the leader of the opposition, irregardless there was a rigging that was married to our elections. He was supposed to be there as the leader of the opposition, just to be the door to shut down all these shenanigans around the parliament and the Senate. We wouldn't be talking about this bill also. It could have been hard for ZANU-PF even to think of amending the constitution with Chamisa and his people in the parliament. So Chamisa has to work twice hard now to achieve better results, maybe half of what he has achieved before. He has to work twice hard. The Timber Tendai Biti, this is called a political comeback. And when you are coming with a political comeback, corrections. These corrections, they have to be also very careful about the corrections. Why? Because people are. So what else can you give the people? Is it action? Is it just politics of talking? Is it that you are going to achieve results? For 25 years, they haven't given us tangible results, the opposition that we have in Zimbabwe. So I think maybe Tashika up a point here, let's build it from our own. Let's build it from the new blood. Let's create a new opposition from the new blood, new people that might give us tangible results.
Okay, so sum it up for us. It is a last statement. We are tomorrow or the day after, we're going to bury a national hero. So Mnangagwa has left the AU today to come and bury the national hero. What happens after that? What do you expect within the bill must be put before Parliament within 21 days. What do you think is going to happen? Give us a breakdown. And when the army, you think the army is going to come in? When do they step in right now?
Okay, here is what's going to happen. Now they tested the waters. They leaked the bill purposely to understand what are you thinking, what everyone is thinking, and what are the consequences if we go on with this. So they have just discovered that they haven't started to fight. Everyone is as we speak, just to prepare for the war. This is not just an ordinary war. This is a declaration of war to the war veterans who went to war and fight for liberation of Zimbabwe, just to remove power from one person, which was Ian Smith. Now, do we have to go back again to the Mnangagwa regime or to the Mnangagwa's idea? So you have declared war with the war veterans. You have declared war with the army. You might think that the army generals, I'm with them, but you have 40,000. We actually have 40,000 active army, and we have 22,000 active policemen that we have just declared war on. You might think they're on your side. However, these people, they swear to uphold and protect the Constitution, which means you went and tried to take that power from them and say, no, ndini ndakukupai marules, inini ndini constitution, and inini I can change it however I want, and no one should say anything. You declared a bigger war. Than you have created more enemies than what you think. Not talking about the opposition. You have declared war within your people that are following you. They might not tell you direct, they might not speak up, but they will leak information that will destroy your life.
Okay. I think, General, it's clear what you're saying. The army is the next. Everyone is waiting for the army to make a move. Do you think Mnangagwa will make a move on Chiwenga?
That we passed that stage. If you do that mistake, that's another deeper mistake again. If he makes a move on Chiwenga, he has just declared war on the army. This will send us to an anarchy. So if he makes a move on Chiwenga, we are going back to the third Chimurenga in Zimbabwe, which is not going to be unstoppable at that point. So he will not make that mistake. That's a very big mistake. Because the army, they respect Chiwenga. They respect Valerio. which means you make a move on these guys, you just say, tell the army that you are nothing and you don't have anyone to represent you. That means wavhurira vakavhara kuti imbwa dzisabude, wavhurira imbwa dzacho dzinotokuruma.
What about Sanyatwe?
Sanyatwe, remember, he is also in the army side. He was a general also. Brigadier General Sanyatwe is a general. Once a general, always a general. He stands for the army. So if you make a move on those people, Valerius Banda, Sanyatwe, Chiwenga, you make a move on those guys, it's a grave danger. Those people, Mnangagwa, if he touches them, he will be playing with fire, because they are the representative of the Zimbabwean National Army. Everyone who's in the army, who wears uniform, they respect those guys. They are their role models. They are their role models. So now if you take away their role models, you have actually told them that they mean nothing, and you are applying for a third generation. You cannot control the army after you take away those.
I get it. So I think for this week, let us end it here. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
What I want to say now is I have decided to find like minds and to defend the Constitution of Zimbabwe. We are coming up with a movement for the people, Zimbabwe People's Movement, to give the freedom and the equality for the people, by the people, for the people, an opposition and an alternative to what we believe in, without waiting for the Messiah, without idolizing people. The people has to determine what they want in their areas, in their constituencies, in their livelihood. Even though we are going to start small, nobody knows us, but we will make sure that every Zimbabwean gets the chance to speak out. We will give the voice to the people of Zimbabwe, even though we will start as an underdog, even though some of the people will try to push us down, but we will not stop as the Zimbabwe People's Movement yevano, by the people, for the people. Ndatenda hangu Gambakwe. And I want to say, lastly, I want to say, as Zimbabwean people, we should learn to come together as one people, as one nation, even though tichifunga zvakasiyana, even though tichiona zvakasiyana. Mukuona zvakasiyana nemukufunga zvakasiyana, it does not mean we are different people. It means our diversities can actually make us strong. Kubva kuna gogo vanogara kwachenda mbuya, kusvika kubhubi, kunosvika kuchinoi, tese tikauya tikaungana panzvimbo imwe chete nemusiyaniro unoita pfungwa dzedu, we can actually defeat dumwa rinonzi ZANU-PF. Ndatenda hangu.
All right, thank you very much, General Ruwende. And next week, I want to remind people that you are a real general. People think that I'm lying when I say you're a general. So next week, we should talk about it a little bit.
Thank you, Gambakwe.
All right, thank you very much, and good day to everybody.